What's up, my peeps? I'm here, and well, happy Halloween, my peeps. So yeah, I'm recording this on Halloween, and happy Halloween to you all. When this comes out, it's maybe a couple days after Halloween and all that, but so hopefully all of you peeps had fun trick-or-treating and all that. I did so myself. Now, as I was saying, I have another spooktacular story for you all. Now, this story is called The Smiling Man. Now, this story, there's two versions, the short, the normal, and the large. I'm doing the normal. So, it starts off. So, I take place in the story. I am the main character, so let's get into it. I work at a gas station, and it was a very rainy night. And as I was packing up for my job to leave, then I saw this man come up and burst open the door right as I was about to leave. I sighed to myself, and I said, "What do you want, sir?" And then he just smiled at me, patted my shoulder, and then left. And I said to myself, well, that was a little weird. But then I just went on with it. And when I went out and I got on my bike, and as I was biking off, I ran into this kid. He said his name was something like Billy, and he told me that he needed help, even though I recognized him. He was one of the bullies, Billy the bully. And when he asked me for help, I knew he was just joking around with one of his friends, but I realized no one was around. And then I saw the smiling man come up near, right behind Billy. And as I was about to say turn around, then I remember all the mean things he said. How he said I was nerdy for liking stuff like Doctor Who, and Demon Slayer, and BTS, and rap. And after I realized what he did, then he said in a shocking voice, "Help me, you freak." And then I just grabbed out my pocket knife, stabbed him in the shoulder, and pushed him into the smiling man. And I started to bike off again happily, knowing that my worst enemy was gone. But then I didn't know what I'd gotten myself into, because as I was heading to home, I saw the smiling man again, except this time he was closer, so I just decided to hop in a random apartment building and ask for help. And first, when I went in to the attendant to see if anyone was there, no one was. Then, when I went into a random hotel room, specifically Hotel Room 666, when I went in, I saw the same kid, Billy, except decapitated, stabbed like 1,000 times. And I know what you're thinking. Why would this be happening? You did this, Xander. No, I didn't. I just arrived at the apartment, and then when I hid in one of the closets, I saw the smiling man come in. And then when he wasn't looking, I snuck out and ran. But then I realized Billy had something, so I quickly grabbed it and left. It was his phone, but it was pulled up on Google Maps for some reason. It had a star near a hospital that was nearby. So I went to it to get some answers, but then when I arrived, when I was close to arriving, my bike had a flat tire. So then I But then in the distance, I saw one of my friends, one of my best friends. They said they'd take my bike home, and they said, "Do you need a ride?" I said no, and they just took my bike and dropped it off at my house. But then, next thing I knew, the hospital would be the exact arena where I'd at least have a fight. And when I walked in, there was a doctor who said, "Hello, do you need any help, sir?" Almost what I said to the smiling man. But then I said, no, I just wonder, do you have you seen a smiling man? And the doctor said, no, but I heard across the road, an insane asylum, one of their most dangerous criminal broke out. And then I was putting the pieces together, and I was thinking the smiling man has to be the criminal. But then, as I was about to just clear my case and walk out, then I saw a truck pull up. And then the doctor said, "Oh, hey, that's my truck. I'm actually about to leave. Wanna get a ride?" And I said, "Sure," but as I climbed in, I heard a clunk in the back seat. So then, as we were only like 5 seconds in of driving, I called it quits and then left. But then, me still standing out of the hospital, then I saw, as the truck started to drive away, I saw a man in the back seat with a great huge knife, and I saw him slit the throat of the doctor. And then the truck crashed into an electrical outlet down the street, and the car caught on flames, exploded even, if you will. And then when I ran towards it, I saw the doctor was clearly dead. I saw there was a space on top of the car, so I climbed up to see if there was any other remaining survivors. But then, as I was about to give up, I saw a man dying on the ground, covered with flames, in blue jeans, brown boots, and a black hoodie, with a wide grin across his face, except he was begging for life. He was begging for his life, dying on the ground with a burnt face, and his right arm exploded. Then I climbed back on top of the car to see if there was anything else near, but then the cops showed up. And then next thing I knew, I felt a pinch in my left arm, and I saw a dart, but it was a tranquilizing dart. Then and the last thing I remember was me falling off the car into a patch of rocks near the street. Okay, so then after I fell into the rocks, last thing I remember, then when I woke up, I saw, when I was still in the rocks, lying there, bleeding from the tumble. But then I saw a cop hidden behind a car. He said his name was Luke, and he said, "Hey, kid, you're finally awake. You sicko." And then as I looked around, I saw thousands of cops dead. At least 10 cop cars parked near where the flaming car was. And when I looked in my hand, I was holding a blood-covered knife, bloody knife. And then when I looked around, I said, "I don't think I did this." But the officer said, "Once you fell onto the rocks, you got up and started slaying people. But then one of the cops got advantage of you, and right as you slit his throat, he kicked you off the car again." Then I looked around and was very confused. Then the cops, then Luke told me the whole story. That after they found me, I murdered a bunch of people. But then after I told Luke my perspective on how the smiling man was chasing me and how many people were after me, then I saw it all. After all that happened, then I realized what was going on right after the final thing Luke said. He said when they found me lying on the ground in the rocks, I was bleeding but smiling, in a black hoodie, blue jeans, brown boots, and with a wide, bloody grin on my face. Now, peeps, I hope you enjoyed that medium story. If this video gets, how about this? I'll make it easy for you. Let's see. You know what? Actually, I don't even need it. How about this? If you all promise to keep subscribing, I'll post out more animations and a version I wrote in school that is actually in a book. So yeah, guys. Now, anyways, I have a cop to finish off.